Hello and welcome to the lecture of International Business Environment. In this, we will going to have a discussion on Block 4, that is Legal Environment, Unit 14, the Legal Framework of Foreign Trade. Topics which we will going to be covered are Introduction, Legal Framework of Foreign Trades, when the relationship of a party is contractual and non-contractual both. Overview of Indian Contract Act 1872, Sales of Goods Act 1930 and overview. Now in this unit of Block 4, as Block 4 is basically discussing about all the legal environments related to the international business. When we talk about the legal environment, that's all considering all the contracts in which the two parties are basically entering into. So this particular unit of 14 of Block 4 is discussing about all those contracts which are basically required to have an international business or international contracts. So if we talk about the international practices and national practices, we understand one thing, that it is very essential to have a legal documentations of certain things, or probably have the written documentations. Now, this is what the trades and transactions between the two different places, that is two different boundaries. Now, one nation have a different concept, have different common laws, whereas the other nations have a different laws. So, in that terms, yes, they have to kept under one common law due to which the trade can be occurred in a very simplified manner. एक बहुत simple सा concept, that is what, जब दो different nations जब अपने आप internally perform करते हैं, so उनकी अपनी कुछ trade practices होती हैं, अपने कुछ contracts होते हैं. So in that case, हर एक nation अपने laws को formed out करता है. पर जब international business की बात आती है, in that case we required a certain common laws in which the trade is basically happened, जिसमें पूरा trade जो है conduct होता है, पूरे trade की actual implementations होती हैं. So an effective regulation and legal framework is basically required for the proper sustainable growth. अगर हम एक growth की बात कर रहे हैं या एक right working या right process की बात कर रहे हैं, तो उसके लिए एक effective regulation और legal framework चाहिए. In rapidly changing national and global business environment, it has become necessary that regulation of a corporate entity is in tune with the emergence economy trends. यानी कि it is now basically a requirement of international business. ये एक international business की requirement है कि हर country या जितनी भी entities एक international business में आते हैं, उनके पास एक right practices होनी चाहिए, एक common regulations होनी चाहिए जिसके through वो rightly perform कर सकें. They manage with the trends, the corporate preferences, they understand what is governance participation, what investors are looking for, and yes, at the same time, what are those interests the one nation have. So in that case, yes, इन सब चीजों के understanding के लिए एक common practices और एक common understanding होना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. So that is what leads to अगेन, अगर एक कॉमन अंडरस्टैंडिंग ना हो, सो ऑटोमेटिकली उससे बिजनेस की प्रैक्टिसेस बहुत ज्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्स हो जाती हैं, उससे एक राइट प्रैक्टिसेस में नहीं हम आ पाते हैं. एंड यस, एट द सेम टाइम द पर्टिकुलर कॉर्पोरेट एंटिटीज आर नॉट एबल टू कंसिस्ट विद दैट चेंजेस. वो उन चेंजेस को या तो कोप अप नहीं कर पाते, और दे हैव फेस्ड मेनी डिफिकल्टीज टू बी इनटू द इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस. सो इन दैट केस, इफ द international trade have those common laws, so automatically that things minimize these complexities, these difficulties for the nations. So that is, there is a need for a law to take into the accounts the requirement of different kind of corporate entities. जो भी corporate entities की requirements हैं, उनको ध्यान में रखते हुए यहाँ पर लॉस की जरूरत होती है. एंड यस, एट द सेम टाइम दैट ऑल कम्स इनटू द कॉमन प्रिंसिपल्स और कॉमन लॉज विच आर फॉलोड इन द कॉर्पोरेट स्ट्रक्चर. जो हमारे कॉर्पोरेट स्ट्रक्चर के अंदर हम फॉलो करते हैं, जो हमारे कॉर्पोरेट स्ट्रक्चर के अंदर हम बेसिकली परफॉर्म करते हैं. नाउ The next is the legal framework of a foreign trade when the relationship of a parties is contractual. Now अगर दो parties जो हैं वो किसी तरीके के contractual relations में आती हैं, then what? When they are basically comes into contractual relationship, that shows that there is a contract. यहाँ पर एक contract है and there are certain laws which are now going to be applicable. If we talk about the contract, what exactly the contract? Contract is the central part of all those aspects in which the trade has happened. Trade का मतलब होता था again transferring the goods from one to party to another. Now in international trade, it's transferring the goods from one nation to another nation. In that case, there must be right trade transactions and right trade practices. For that, they require the general principles to include the limiting principles of a contract. And yes, they required all those contracts to be applicable. This is now a requirement. अगर एक contractual relationship है, so एक पूरी written documentations होंगी. They have certain principles. They have certain formations, validities. They know that कि वो किस तरह से operate करेंगे, किस तरीके की उनकी proper functionings होंगी. How that contract is going to be worked out. That all comes into this context. That is what comes the contracts and applicabilities of laws. That means तो हमें उस केस में जब हम एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की बात कर रहे हैं, जब हम एक रिटन डॉक्यूमेंटेशन की बात कर रहे हैं, तो एप्लीकेबिलिटी लॉज में कौन कौन से लॉज हैं जो एप्लीकेबल हो सकते हैं एक इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड प्रैक्टिसेस के अंदर. तो उसमें हमें सारे प्रिंसिपल्स को काउंट करना होगा, वैलिडिटीज को काउंट करना पड़ेगा, कब कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किस सिचुएशन के लिए बनाया जा रहा है. इट्स अ कमोडिटी लॉ, इट्स फॉर दी सर्विस लॉज, एंड यस एट द सेम टाइम वो किस ऑपरेशंस में बनाया जा रहा है. देन अनदर इज लॉ. व्हाट इज लॉ? Law is basically a system, or we can say that's a rules, it's a regulations which basically have certain reasons to be found out. किसी एक particular rules जब बनाए जाते हैं, उनकी कुछ set practices होती हैं. वो rules इसलिए create up किए जाते हैं कि उन set practices के अंदर they need to perform. So law basically created, or rules and regulations are basically created to give the right practices in the social entities, give a right practices to the corporate entities. जब हम social और company basis पर जब हम लोग एक सही procedures को apply करना चाहते हैं, तब हम लोग rules and regulations को या laws को form out करते हैं. That is why when it's about creating a law, it's to shape out all your political, economic, society in the numerous way, and they basically discuss the relationship between the people, that how it's going to be effect in that concept. So that comes into law. What is contract then? Yes, if there was a law, now it's a contractual relationship, there must be a contract. Contract in a general terms we know that it's a legal document or it's in a written document. So contract is basically exchange of promise. It is what when two parties promise each other and two parties comes into the relationship to have legal bonds with each other, legal bindings with each other. So that comes into contract. They sign that document, and yes, at the same time they promise each other to retain that practices in a right manner. So contract basically creates a legal binding relationships and obligations. So yes, in that case contract basically gives us the right practices and bring up the right relationships and obligations. So that comes into the contract. Now next is agreement. So yes, when there was a law, there is an agreement. Agreement is basically the set of promises. That is what all that statements, all that formation period of that statements comes into the agreement. Agreement is basically when there was the whole फॉर्मल स्टेटमेंट वॉज मेड. जब एक फॉर्मल स्टेटमेंट बनती है कि यस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में क्या क्या कंसीडर्ड होंगी, जब दो पार्टीज अपनी ऑब्लिगेशंस को डिफाइन कर रही होती हैं, दैट वाज बेसिकली कम्स इनटू द अग्रीमेंट. सो एवरी प्रॉमिस or a set of a promise forming considerations for each other, and yes, at the same time agreement is enforceable by law. That is, agreement becomes a contract only when there was enforceabilities of law. So agreement हम ये बोल सकते हैं कि just a formation stage, जहां पर हम लोग concepts को formed out कर रहे होते हैं. वो contract तब बनता है जब वो legally enforce हो जाता है. So that comes into the agreement part. Now, what is ESC? Now ESC basically stands for Export Sales Contract. This is basically when company was exporting their product, when they were transferring their goods, so in that case they entered into the ESC. Now this concept is basically when exporter is agreed or transfer their goods to the importer. जब हमारा exporter ready होता है या वो transfer कर देता है अपने product को importer को, so उस case में they enter into the ESC contract. That means there was an export sale contract. That is why exporter with that contract is basically forcing out where the exporter transfer the property in the goods to the importer. There was a first condition कि जब वो अपनी property को importer के पास transfer कर देता है. The second is a agreement to export where the exporter only agrees to transfer the property in goods at the future date. यानी कि that person is ready to transfer their goods to the importer but to the future date. वो अब इसको future date में transfer करना चाहता है. So that means कि that is the future transactions जो कि certain conditions पर conduct हो रही हैं. So that comes into the ESC. Now we can state that it is kind of a similar concept, like यहाँ पर अब international trades की बात कर रहे हैं, so we enter into the ESC. ESC के basic elements क्या होते हैं? The very first element is there must be a two party. They going to decide on goods. There must be a good. There must be an appropriate cost. Yes, if there was in a conditions, तो party may define out what kind of conditions they have. So in that case, to have that proper sale or एक proper sustainable sales के लिए there must be a competitive product and service. एक right amount of product and service आपके पास होना चाहिए, वो competent होना चाहिए जो दूसरी market में जाके compete करेगा. And yes, at the same time commitment होनी चाहिए. There must be a capital. There must be connected. There must be a country acumen. Yes, company plans. Continuous innovation must be there, confidence, and yes, critical masses. So these all are the factors or elements which are basically considered in ESC. Now the exporting concepts. Now in this we were basically going to discuss about the non-contractual part. When country enters into the international with the non-contractual. So in that case the very first is the exporter and the government. In this, yes, there are the certain regulations which are formed by the countries and exporter needs to follow that. That for example, that exporter belongs to the Indian origin. In that terms, the government of India have a various laws and exporter need to follow these laws. So the very first is Foreign Trade Act 1992 that need to be followed. Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, Custom Act, Custom Tariff Act, Pre-Shipment and Quality Control Act. Now these are all the acts which need to be understood by the exporters when there was the exporters and government relations. When it comes to exporter and international agencies, there are certain laws which exporter need to understand when they want to enter into the international market. जब एक exporter international market में जाता है तो उसे इन सबको अंडरस्टैंड करना पड़ता है. सो दैट इज व्हाट आईसीसी फॉर्मुलेटेड एक्ट. ये सब वो एक्ट हैं जो कि आईसीसी ने बनाए हैं. एज यस, एक्सपोर्टर जिस भी ओरिजिन से होगा वो ऑटोमेटिकली उस कंट्री के कॉन्सेप्ट्स को, उस कंट्री के लॉ को फॉलो करेगा. बट हाँ, जब वो इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में एंटर करता है, सो इन दैट केस उसे कुछ कॉमन एक्ट्स को फॉलो करना पड़ता है. So in that case, there are certain terms, which is Incoterms. Incoterms are basically international contract terms, 1990, which that person must follow. There must be a UPC contract, that is Uniform Custom and Practice for the documentary credit. If there was any documentary, there are any customs part. So ये सब customs और practices होती हैं towards the credit facilities. Which are basically created on the basis of universal concept. ये universally apply की जाती हैं and they were basically international trade transactions. So yes, in this basically session we have an understanding about the criteria that how we will going to understand the legal formalities. इससे पहले हम लोगों ने study किया about all the international theories all the institutions which are into the international कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, जो इंटरनेशनल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स में थे, यहाँ पर अब हम लोग सारी लीगल फॉर्मेलिटीज की डिस्कशंस करेंगे. सो दिस इज द वेरी इंट्रोडक्टरी पार्ट ऑफ लीगल फॉर्मेलिटी. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट फॉर दिस सेशन. सो थैंक यू सो मच, IGNOU MOOCs.